So again, here I am trying to arrive in this spot. And again, for me, arriving is about trying to get into that place of a more broader perspective beyond the thinking about, what I'm seeing and judging, but more openness to my space. So that's the first thing I'm trying to work on here. And I do that by listening, which is a form of noticing, right? So I'm listening. I'm noticing what I'm listening, what I'm hearing, what I'm sensing in my body, coldness, warm, connection, something I sense, pain, what I see, and how clearly I see it. And that means it's almost like, as I look at the fern in front of me, what am I seeing? Again, am I judging it? Am I not really seeing it clearly? Is it just a thing? Or am I really getting to see it and really feeling like I'm connected to it in some way? And see, that drops me down from the head to kind of the heart or my core, where I'm connected to things not just through my eyes and my ability to discern things, but to connect openly, almost from that place of curiosity. Is that fern breathing? Is it going to change color? How long does that fern live? See, and what I notice in that question, how long does that fern live? That's a scientific curiosity. That's different than an open curiosity, in my opinion. I think they're both wonderful and great. It's certainly a better way to approach things. But I do believe curiosity can show up through our thinking brain and it can show up through our heart. And they're different, similar, but different. The curiosity doesn't need to know the answer, it just asks the questions and it stays very open. Where a thinking curiosity asks and almost is starting to think of the next question. It's like drilling down in a way, and it feels more agenda driven, that kind of curiosity. But curiosity from the heart, from my center, it just, it's curious. It's curious as a way of being. And yeah, usually questions will come from that, but it's more of a genuineness to want to know something, but not a need to know. So, anyway, that's what's coming up. So today, I'm spending a little extra time with the arrival process. There's part of me that wants to kind of just stay with this a little longer, knowing that I was coming in with some strong parts, not wanting to do this, which I'm already feeling them step back, which is just amazing to me. This whole thing is amazing to me, frankly. I was very resistant to just doing anything in the woods like this. I thought, what's the point? What's the difference? I can do it in my living room or in my office. Um, and I just didn't see the magic of nature. I see it so woo woo, um, so out of what I've been, how I've looked at the world. But the truth is, there is a marked difference doing this in the woods in nature. I can't explain it. I don't know exactly why. I mean, I know there's lots of people who study the wilderness and think this is like our core, and of course we came through this, and you know, uh, Earth and nature has its own way of being, and we tap into that the more we get into nature. Um, again, I don't know, and I don't need to know. It feels different when I do it here, and how helpful it has been for me. So anyway, let me get back into doing the work. So again, I'll usually breathe. That helps me just relax my system. My parts love when I breathe. keeps them open. Breathing deeply too into my belly. I used to be more of a chest breather, and I've noticed in this process I've definitely deepened my breathing. I even can breathe all the way down into my feet. I mean, that's how it feels. It just feels like the air is going everywhere. So again, back to that magic question, how do I feel towards this space? So what comes up is open, connected. I'm seeing it clearly, whatever that means. That just means I have a part that'll disassociate, that'll like blur my vision a little bit, when it wants to stay thinking, and that's not happening. So I'm really feeling connected to it. I don't have any parts that are really asking me to leave or get started on the next step or any, the agendas of parts have backed up. And I feel here. I do have a part that's anxious, not anxious, excited to get started on today's work too, knowing that there's a pretty significant trailhead, piece of work for me around not wanting to do stuff. And I've already done some work around that about a part of me that I call rise up that always felt like everything was a have to. And it could be that part that's presenting itself this morning about having to go visit my brother-in-law. And I'm curious where that'll go today. All right, so I've arrived for sure. My butt is sore. I am going to have to sit on this pad. Did kettlebell swings yesterday where you really have to squeeze the glutes, and it does uh, make my butt sore. Again, I like to use the iPad for journaling. It has really helped me separate my thoughts. So it's been a great tool for me at this point. And I noticed what I had written earlier before I started is the before the going, a preparing before going. And that part that doesn't want to go, nothing specific, but sore, tired. It's kind of late. And again, like I said, the cat getting out and might come find me. And then, I don't want the cats to get lost in here. So it started to find reasons why I shouldn't come out here. And again, I don't want to deny those parts. I want to give them a chance to speak, let them be heard. Oh, that's another point too I wanted to mention. What I noticed, I talked about that disassociation. When I was spraying myself, bug spraying, getting ready to come out here, I had to disconnect from the parts of me that didn't want to come and just take the lead and get out here knowing it was good for me. But I'll tell you, that's hard to do because those parts just don't go away and I can feel it. Their resistance doesn't go away. And to not hear them, I think could create resentment in my system. So I do notice next time I need to check in more with those parts before I head out and not just come out here. So that's a great lesson learned right there. Great awareness. So the next piece in this is where I befriend my system. And that's checking in with who's here. Who wants some attention, either now or in a little bit. So let me do that. Noticing a part that's in conflict or confused with what Ray's saying about people who don't want to go inside. And I get that. I mean, it is very rule, like, look, let's go inside, right? There's the instruction. So I'm already kind of pushing people in a direction. And what if they don't want to do that? I think it's great input, and I just need to keep thinking on how to guide people into a meditation where I'm not guiding them anywhere they don't want to go. Noticing that part show up. That's my process guy. Ask that part to step back for now. We'll do some work on that. I'm noticing game film replaying yesterday. I had a conversation with somebody who works at a company I'm interested in potentially working there. So I'm noticing that part, replaying that. We went out on a boat, noticing that. It was great. Mm. I'm noticing a part who feels really sad about Steve. Can almost picture him lying in bed and his kids and Amy. And it feels bad for them. So it's a very empathetic part. I'm not sure what part this is actually. Yeah, it just feels a lot of sadness. That sadness is staying with me. I'm noticing that. I'm going to ask it to step back. It will. I noticed the part that just brought my attention to rise up, knowing that this is the kind of piece of work. So I'm noticing a part of me with a little bit of agenda there around doing the work. Just curious if rise up is still present or it's kind of regressed back into its old self that was more of a curled up ball that just didn't want to do anything because it just felt like it had to do everything. It was just overwhelmed with that should do stuff, have to. Oh, it's interesting. I mean, I see both energies present, so I'm going to write that. All right, I'm going to check in more on my body and see what I'm feeling in my body, what I'm really sensing. Again, I feel that butt soreness does grab a portion of my attention for sure. I'm noticing a tingling inside. I'm noticing a lot of space. I'm still noticing that sadness. Yeah, that part really wants me to feel some of the sadness. I'm going to take a minute for that, where I'm feeling that right in the center of my chest. And my fingertips too. It's tingly there. And I have the tears behind my eyes. I'm really feeling this part, sadness. It loves Steve and Amy and the kids. And it's afraid of losing them, losing Steve. And how hard and how painful this could be for him after watching my mom go through it. It doesn't wish this on anybody. But I think it's really sad, afraid that Steve's going to go away. Another person's going to leave. Another person that we love and care about, could die. And that kind of belief that they all go away. They all go away in the end. There's a lot of sadness there. I have a part that's suggesting loneliness. And I guess a part that has a theory that this could be a part of me that is lonely and is afraid to connect with people because they will leave. And really opening up leaves me to this kind of pain. It's funny though, I have another part that isn't seeing this as pain. It's sadness for sure. And it hurts. So yeah, it's pain. It hurts. But it is part of life. And to really love somebody, this is what happens. You can lose them. There's risk. See that part. So this is coming from another part because I'm noticing that part doesn't want to hear that. It almost has a magical belief that those that we love should never go away. Now I'm hearing anger. How can God, wow, it's bringing God up. How can God take away our loved ones? That's how it sees it. I'm curious about that, I want to hear more. Yeah, it just thinks it's not fair. I thought God loved us. And if God loved us, why would he take away things we love? I get that. That's a hard thing to understand for a child. I get that. Does part understand that I get that? Yeah, but it wants me to make it feel better. Okay. So I'm just going to bring in that nurturing part my mom part that I brought up yesterday. Try to comfort this exile. And again, I'm feeling it right in my chest. Very open-hearted, so open-hearted. And that's why it's so sad. Because it opened itself up to all of this. And now it's hurting. So we're just going to comfort it for now. You're okay. We're here. We're not going away. See, it doesn't like that. We're not coming. We're not going away because it's like, how can I say that? How do I know? It's that's bullshit. It has that angry. I don't know if that's another part. It has this. Don't tell it that it's going to be okay because I don't know that it's going to be okay. It's true. Okay. Okay. It's teaching me how to nurture it. Us. I guess it just wants to hear that we're here for it. We're here for it. We can hold this sadness. I can hold your sadness. Hold your sadness. Let it go. Give it to me. It's okay. Your sadness is okay. That's what's okay. Let's see this nurture part too. Both of us. How am I feeling towards this part? Very open hearted, very loving, very compassionate. I get it. I get it. I'm just here to hold you. It's feeling connected to me. It's calmed down a little bit. Noticing all the bugs flying around me. It's just a point of to note. My observer's noticing that, and I'm still right in the scene. So I'm gonna kind of connect a little deeper here with this part. So again, it's in my chest, it's in my heart. It's really in my heart. Right here. That's where my heart is. That's where I'm feeling it, right in the middle of my chest. The bugs are starting to pull me out a little bit because I'm feeling more and more. So I gotta try to let that go. Go back to this connection. Feeling that sadness a little. I'm separated from it. And I want to hear its story. I want to hear your story. So doesn't my mom part here. All my parts want to hear your story. My creative parts here, my other exile. My overwhelmed part, my reverent part, game film, my critic, my manager X, my worrier. It's beautiful. All my parts huddled around, kneeling, wanting to really hear this part's story. Oh my goodness. Grandpa. Grandpa went away. Nobody could explain it. People got mad at me. I was sad, and was confused and angry. See, I sense it holding back a little bit. Let me just check in again and see how I'm feeling towards it, how all my parts are feeling towards it. Good. Open. So I'm sensing that this part of me has a belief that's keeping it from opening up more. A belief that it shouldn't be upset. It shouldn't feel any of these things. It's not appropriate. Boys don't feel like this. Don't let anyone see this. Show how strong you are. Okay. Do you want to let those beliefs aside? Do you want to put them outside of you? What do you want to do with them for now as we do this? Yeah, I do. It does. It wants to put those beliefs aside so that it can just feel everything it's feeling. Okay, so we'll just put them aside and we'll leave them there and see what we want to do with them later. Okay. I'm so angry and so sad. I loved my grandfather. He's the only one who ever played with me. He's the only one who ever gave me any attention. He bought me a sandbox. He bought me a baseball jacket that I loved and a baseball hat and a baseball bat. He showed me how to garden, how to eat vegetables from the garden. And he had the best cucumbers and green beans, tomatoes. I could see the garden, the backyard. I could see the street. I could see the house, see the yellow or white. A couple of stairs with a metal black guardrail. But I'm starting to not see Grandpa. Grandpa was gone before he died. Nobody would tell me where he was. Where's Grandpa? Oh, don't worry, it'll be okay. Don't worry, he's fine. Don't worry, he's fine. See, I was getting those. This part was getting those messages as he'll be fine. And then I got off the bus. Saw all the cars in my driveway. My mom came out. Said Grandpa's gone. Do I want to go play? What do you mean Grandpa's gone? He's gone. He's with God. Fuck God. Somebody took away my grandpa? God took my grandpa? What am I going to do now? What am I going to do? I was hoping he'd come back. Who's going to be here for me? Not you. Not my mom. You're never here for me. Nobody. My sister's bawling. I don't see my brother. I don't see grandmother. I don't see other people, but I know they're in the house. So I'm numb. I'm stunned with this too. I'm angry. Yeah, thank you for sharing all that. Do you see me? Do you recognize that I'm here now listening? And the mom that's inside me, not our mom, but our nurturer. Yeah. What do you want from us? Just tell me I'm okay. Okay, you're okay. You have a right to be angry and upset. You can be mad at God. You have a right to be mad at God. And you do need answers. It's okay. I can't give them. I'm. It doesn't want me to give answers. See, it wants me to comfort it. So I'm getting a flash of, visiting Steve and breaking down into tears and how awkward that would feel, how embarrassed I would be. Oh my goodness. This part showing me how embarrassed it is to show its emotion, even when somebody is sick or dying. I'm not supposed to do that. Yeah, I get that. So look, I can hold your emotions. I can hold them. You can be upset and it's okay. And if they come out fine, I mean, that's just us. See, this part's like 8. Is that even, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's right. I think my grandfather died in 77, 76, 77. So that would make him 8. And it just wants to know that it can break down if it needs to and be really sad and be, yes, yes. So then these burdens that you have, these beliefs that you can't do that, you can't break down, you can't be upset, you can't be mad at God. Do you want to let those go? Yeah, I do. How do you want to do that? I want to bury him with Grandpa. Okay, let's do that. Let's dig a big hole. How big? You need help? You still have all these other parts too. You want some help? Yeah, let's dig a big hole. So as they're digging, I'm noticing it's getting sad again, and it never said goodbye to Grandpa. He's afraid Grandpa's mad at him. That makes sense. Okay. You know your grandfather's not going to be mad at you for that, right? Your grandfather loved you. I don't know, he might be. People said that if I don't go see Grandpa or that he's going to be mad. Hmm. Hmm. So the guilt too. Do you want to put the guilt in that pile? Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't go see Grandpa. I mean, I didn't know how I would respond. And I'd get yelled at and I'd be embarrassed and I couldn't. I'm sorry, Grandpa. I'm sorry. I couldn't go see you in the hospital. You know that I love you. You were the best for me ever. I'll never forget you. I loved you with all my heart. Is Grandpa hearing this? Yeah, I get a sense that he is. He understands. I understand. All the parts understand. So we're going to throw the guilt in too. So the guilt's going in there the way I'm supposed to be. I can't have emotions. I can't break down. I can't be angry. I can't be mad at God. All of those I can'ts are all going in there. We're going to cover them up, stomp them. So do you want anything in their place? Any new beliefs? Any new qualities, characteristics? That I'm okay. That I can be sensitive. I can be sensitive. It's amazing. I can be compassionate towards others and towards myself. So I feel like I have a part suggesting some of these things too. So what is this part? What do you want? Do we even have a name for you at this point? Sensitivity. I'm sensitivity. We've talked. You're in my heart. You're brave. I hear an animal. Okay. I'm feeling the confidence. So this part wants to be confident in who he is with all this sensitivity. Anything else you need from me? No, let's stay open. So are there any other parts that are afraid to how you feel towards this confidence? Feel good. I do notice a part would still be afraid. So there's a protector about the belief about the world, how the world would judge me. And okay, that makes good sense. How about, I listen to this part's emotion, sensitivity, and we share what's appropriate. And if something leaks out, so be it. Yeah, as long as you're there, Don, to temper it and soothe that part that's feeling all that, that we don't just have to completely become that part, all that sensitivity. Yeah, I get it. This part loves the sensitivity. It's brilliant information. It's feeling its way through the world. Okay. Any other parts that help dig the hole, or the creativity and game film and Manager X and the critic? No, they're all turning towards me. Thank me for that. Building this team. How about the confident part? Does it want to come out of that scene with the hole and with the grandfather and all that? No, I mean, it's with me. So it's definitely, I'm feeling a genuine connection with it. It doesn't need to necessarily come to today. It likes the scene that the creative part's in at the trailhead down here, along with the overwhelmed part, the grass. It likes that. So we can go spend some time there, but no, it's okay. It just feels comforted in my arms and my chest. Like here, it's big, but it likes that. All right, is there anything else that needs to happen here? I don't think so. Let's come back to now, see what happens. What am I feeling? Very open-hearted. Do you want to go see Steve? Yeah, I do. I love Steve. course I do. I want to support Elaine, and Amy, and the kids. Anything else we need here today? No, let's just take some time though to keep settling this in.